in the field, yes?
Yes.
Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. This new continent now lays before us a great promise. That promise is these new United States, for you have heard the news, have you not?
Yes.
Fresh from Philadelphia, independence has been declared. We have turned the entire power of government over to the people. What a beautiful, stupid idea. We had the audacity in this year of 1776 to not just declare independence, and not just take the crown off of one man's head, but turn right around and place that crown upon all men. This is the radical nature of 76. This is the radical nature of what it means to be a citizen now in these new United States of America. We are now citizens. We no longer exist as subjects, this title which was placed upon us for our entire lives until someone wrote some bit of treason this year. I didn't wish to do that business, you know. I was the third choice, in fact. 3, again, this shall be a theme throughout my entire life. That's all right, you'll get it in a second. Nonetheless, that committee was formed on June 11th to create this Declaration of America's Independence should the vote go in that direction. We had not yet voted for the thing, you know. The committee as a whole, which we had dissolved into out of Congress and in committee as a whole, we decided that should the vote go in the direction, we could already be finished with the product. We could already take that product and those drafts of the Declaration of America's Independence out of subcommittee and commit them to the committee as a whole. Then on June 12th, we 5 men sat around an oval table covered in green broadcloth and asked ourselves, who's going to do this business? You understand, when that committee was formed, it was not 5 men chosen with 1 man chosen to do the business, but just 5 men chosen to get the business done. You know who was on that committee? George Mason, nay, he was here in Williamsburg, in fact, writing the Declaration of Rights. And we have Mr. George Mason to thank for our Declaration of Rights in Virginia, do we not? That Declaration of Rights, written in that very building, under the tutelage of Mr. George Mason, is now being used as a model for all the other 12 colonies. Looking at his work, now understanding that government should, first and foremost, have one object, and that is to protect the rights of its people. Yes? And that whenever any government becomes destructive to these rights, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish such government. Yes? So no, it was not George Mason.
Patrick Henry.
Patrick Henry, nay, thank God.
Roger Sherman.
Roger Sherman, yes. John Adams, yes. Robert Livingston of New York, yes. Dr. Franklin, of course, yes, and?
Dickinson.
Yes, last, me, thank you. You could have started with the easy one, you know. That's fine, we'll blame it on the fine Virginia weather we're having today, yes? If you were appointed to that committee of 5 men, who would you choose to write this thing? Franklin, absolutely. Who else would you choose? Franklin is America's most prominent man. I apologize for my haltering speech. It has been said of me that I have a bit of a stutter, to which I say true. It's also said of me that I cannot string 3 sentences together, that I have a high-pitched and squeaky voice, but to those 2 arguments I say do not believe everything you hear out of Patrick Henry's mouth. I know not where that man gets his great torrent of language. Perhaps I say it's divinely inspired. Anytime the wind blows down Duke of Gloucester Street, I say somewhere Mr. Henry has his mouth open. So we could use a bit of Mr. Henry's mouth today.